Green Screen Forecast, your host Adam Kamau. As yes, we did get some snow this past weekend, making it the 5th snowiest November on record. We're going to talk about what's ahead as we look at temperature trends getting into early December. But first, I have a quick graphic from Pivotal Weather discussing the potential for more light snow for Monday, December 1st. So let's get started. As you look at this graphic from Pivotal Weather, we do have another chance of some light or even moderate snow as we head towards late in the day on Monday. So chances are most kids will be still going to school as we head towards Monday. And as we see that move into our region, that late Monday afternoon and evening commute might be impacted, especially since temperatures are still going to be below freezing in the 20s. And watch for a quick hitting batch of 1 to 2 inches of snow, maybe even a little bit more further up to the north, as a narrow, heavier band of snow could always drop more than that, but not as much as what we just saw this past weekend. So if we're thinking, man, this is going to be another big storm, no, that's not what we're talking about. But yes, little snow, even if it's just a dusting, can cause problems. So I wanted to make sure I include that in today's forecast. But now let's move ahead. Let's talk more about those first few days of December as we look at these temperature trends. And notice this takes us through those early portions of December. This graphic again from our Climate Prediction Center. And as we know, our normal highs for this time of the year are now in the upper 40s. They continue to go down as we finish off the year. So as we look at this graphic, it is favoring those colder than normal temperatures. As we spoke about, we're going to be keeping an eye on the north for the Canadian air to move our way. And you notice it's mainly focused on the eastern part of the U.S., while the western part of the U.S. deals with those warmer, above normal temperatures. So we're going to keep an eye for those colder temperatures over the next few days. This would be highs in the 20s and 30s. So yeah, it will be cold, especially on the mornings for those that are heading out to school, especially for those that ride by bus. So that is something to know over the next few weeks or so, that we will be seeing this cold getting into December. And as we look for consistency, we're still seeing about the same thing, even getting into that 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, with below normal temperatures being favored, especially for the eastern part of the country. And we'll keep an eye to see if there'll be moisture involved with this that would give us more opportunities for snow. But for right now, we're just focused on the colder temperatures as we get through those first few weeks of December. And even as we look at that 3 to 4 week temperature outlook, now our normal highs by this point are going to be much lower than the upper 40s. So just know that we're going to get that slow progression downward with those normal high temperatures, which means we're going to expect colder temperatures getting into the month of December. Looking at that 3 to 4 week outlook, it does mention the potential for maybe a brief warm up or maybe a brief return for near normal temperatures as we get into the mid, even latter portions of December. And we'll keep an eye on some colder air, especially further up to the north and even down south, where we're expecting those warmer temperatures. This is normally favored during a La Nina. We'll keep an eye to see if some of that would briefly return some near normal temperatures into our region, while we still have that Arctic Canadian air up to the north. We'll still have to keep an eye and see whether that does move our way. But again, normal highs for now, this November 30th, are in the upper 40s. But by this point, especially by the 3 to 4 week temperature outlook, those normal highs are much lower than that. So just keep that in mind. But the theme for December, as we did see, is these below normal temperatures, especially for the eastern part of the country over the next few weeks or so. So this is something that's very important, even for this special announcement of mine, my 2025 to 26 winter weather outlook. Of course, we've already looked at the first weeks of December, so that's probably hinting at you what I'm going to be talking about for the month of December in my winter weather outlook. But we still have January and February to talk about, and those can also be interesting months. So you want to do one thing right now. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. I am planning on releasing my 2025 to 26 winter weather outlook on December 7th, 2025. Again, December 7th, 2025. If there's any delays or I become incredibly busy for some reason, I will push that, of course, to the next Sunday. But as long as you're subscribed with notifications on, you'll make sure that you don't miss this very important and amazing video. And remember, it is a prediction, but now it's becoming more than a prediction, because we can look at previous years, see what happened during those previous years to figure out what will happen this coming winter. And I can only give you a hint. Well, look at the background, look at the thumbnail. That's probably going to give you a hint of this winter. But again, it's not an exact, and expect changes, especially as we move forward. But again, very excited for my 25 to 26 winter weather outlook, especially since I've been uploading consistently over the last few weeks. Then can always be a time where YouTube doesn't notify you, so just make sure you're subscribed with notifications on in case that happens with this video. Hoping not, but until then, make sure you download Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, to follow me for my outdoor weather report. In fact, I actually started off by doing an outdoor weather report before I came down here to do my green screen forecast, just to make it a little bit more convenient for me, and also so I can take a little bit more time with these green screen forecasts, considering that the sun does go down pretty early. So again, make sure you follow me on my socials, especially when we get these crazy snows like we just got on November 29th, 2025 on that Saturday, so that you don't miss any of that. I was able to post it over on Threads, and that video actually reached a huge audience. I was very happy to see everyone's amazing comments on there. So again, make sure you follow me over on all my social media platforms. The link to that will be down in the description. So I can also give you a reminder of my winter weather outlook. And until then, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for everything that you do. I'll see you in the next one.